Good evening. Welcome to the September 17th Board of Education Committee of the Whole meeting. We have a quorum. Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Turn it over to Vice President Cavalier.
And I'll turn it over to the superintendent.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole meeting. At the Committee of the Whole, we go over the agenda, and if the board has questions, we review that. So we're going to start with the report of the superintendent. We are going to have two presentations, hopefully about 5 minutes each. The first one will be the summer program report. Dr. King will be presenting on all of the summer special education programs. And then we are going to have a facilities update from Mr. Reed, our Director of Facilities, about all of the advancements that we made in facilities over the past few months. Okay, moving on to the Education Committee. Does anybody have any questions on the Education Committee or the items under the Education Committee consent, which is numbers 1 through 18?
Any questions from the board? Nope, no questions, Dr. Rocker.
Okay, thank you. There will be, on number 11, I'll just point out that we will have, when we post the agenda, we will have the list, the attachment with the list of the clubs. We're just still compiling that from all 4 buildings. But that will be on the final agenda. Okay, are there any questions on the Business Committee? There will be another item under the Business Committee for the Assistant Business Manager contract that we just reviewed.
And the budget.
The budget map is listed. So we'll have 3 items under the Business Committee and then 2 for the consent.
Any questions from the board? No questions from the board.
Committee of the Whole, any questions on the Committee of the Whole consent agenda?
Any questions from the board? The whole harmless agreement is the one we do yearly.
And that's, yes, that's the annual for when we have events and we are on village, like a village green, or if we use the band shell, or,
It's the yearly renewal.
yes.
Any questions? No questions from the board? That concludes the,
I did write to the Lord, and I wrote to the Lord about the chunkies at Willow. So I was hoping maybe we could just quickly talk about that. For people who don't know, the chunkies are the white figure. There's one at Willow and there are several here over at Deaver. They are part of the 1964-65 New York State, the World's Fair at the New York State Fairground. And they were the Chunky Candy Pavilion, at the Chunky Candy Pavilion, and it was a playground. And they were these smooth plastic figures that when put together on the playground, you could look through them and their shapes would make different objects. It was a kid's playground. So I believe, and I don't know the exact history, but I believe they were donated to the district. And we, at Deaver here, we have a nice plaque that says what they are. And also there is a, time capsule. There's a time capsule in the courtyard over here to be opened in the future, years in the future.
just to explain where they are, it's right behind here.
in where like you would consider the courtyard between the library and the gym. So I would like to, I've had some discussions with some parents over at Willow, and with Mrs. Gervaisi as well, and I would think it would be a good idea to move the Willow chunky to where the other chunkies are at Deaver, and to investigate potentially arranging them a little bit better, maybe restoring them, possibly maybe even reaching out to whoever owns Chunky at the moment and seeing if, you know, they could be resurrected. Because right now, they were at some point put a different finish on them, so they're really not safe for the kids to play on anymore. And being outside all the time, they're starting to get like mold and, you know, streaks and things like that. So if the board is okay with that, I think I will move forward with that.
I like to see them preserved.
Yeah, I think they're so cute.
Are they in any of the schools, or the
No.
Villa doesn't have any, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to see them.
We would just
preserved
make
also.
them the district Chunkies,
Looking
and,
over the time capsule.
you know,
Yeah. How old is it?
no.
It's
Here.
Willow. Yeah, but
Willow has a single
yeah,
one right in
single
the
one
front.
in the edge.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it's in, you know, for Mrs. Gervaisi and I, it's not in the best spot. The kids run a lot there in coming in and out of school, and I think it would be good to move. Okay, that's great. Thank you. That's nothing else.
Anything else?
That's nothing else.
Okay, so that concludes the committee of the whole. I need a motion to go back into the executive session.
I make a motion to go back into executive session for personnel.
Seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are now in executive session. Thank you.